Welcome, welcome. We are talking about jeans, and whether you know it or not, oh my gosh, jeans are so strong for fall. You just you gotta make them. You gotta make them. And especially after tonight, we're gonna make it easy. We're gonna make it fun. Pattern 3300, Lana's jeans, is our pattern of the month. Lana is a sweet, dear friend of mine, and she's a teeny little thing. Like, she's really little. I mean, she's an adult, but, you know, really little. In fact, so little, it's hard to find store-bought jeans because she's so little. But she doesn't want to go to the kids department because they're not as sophisticated. And so I created this pattern. So anyway, she would have jeans that she could actually make and do all the fun things to them. And so we're going to travel lots of miles tonight. We're going to do fitting first. We're going to show you what's current and the trends and just how expensive jeans can become. And then we're going to talk about things that look great with jeans. We're going to that's our little progression that we're going to do tonight. So we're going to start with fitting. Jeans fitting is really, you know what I'm going to say, it's simple. But there's just no way you can buy a pair as good as you can make a pair. Just because you can tweak and do all the tweaks. So what you're going to do first is you're going to make a muslin. Now I know that term, make a muslin. You know, we've got regular denim and then we've got stretch denim. So that would be like a blouse and a t-shirt. You can't make one that's going to work for both. So for instance, if you're going to make a stretch denim pair of jeans using Lana's jeans, then you want a stretch denim muslin, which is what I've done. Okay, I've done a stretch denim muslin. And you know, a lot of people say, well, where do I get that and how can I get it cheap? Denim is not really expensive. So I'd probably get double the yardage is what I do and just make the mock pair out of the real denim and then you'll have it. And like I said, unless you've got some older stuff that you don't like or maybe a color you don't like, or if you find something inexpensive, clearance, you know, whatever. All of those are good options. But what you're going to do is I've made this mock and then I'm going to put it on and then I'm going to tweak. Now, if you make it up, the circumference is not right, don't try to tweak that. That's not tweaking, that's overhauling. Because the pattern grades from the sides as well as the center front as well as the center back. So if you put them on and they're way too small or they're way too big, don't just let out the side seams or take in the side seams. That's my suggestion. I would make a new, you know, say, whoops, pick the wrong size. You know, that silly company is wrong again. And just make up the next size, bigger, smaller, whatever, or get closer. Because I have fit jeans on women that were like 2 sizes different from what they should be, and they grade. They grade at center front and they grade at center back, so it's really not the best thing to do. Okay? All right, so then you're going to put them on. They should sit below your waist, although jeans today the styles are going back to high-waisted. We'll show you some of those styles here in a little bit. So what you want to do is add below the yoke. The yoke is still the same amount, same width. You'll add below the yoke and just add as high up as you want the jean to go. It's kind of hard to guess that. So again, I would make that muslin so that you know where you're going. Muslins are going to give us confidence. They're going to give us, they're exciting. All right, so we've got the length right. We've got the circumference right. You know what comes next. That big D word, the depth. Yay, depth. So we're going to start with, and you can see on this mannequin, I did it in light denim so that you could all see. You can see all these angular wrinkles. They come from the outside and they go to the inside of the knee. They come from the outside of the hip to the inside of the knee. If you're doing this by yourself, just hold a mirror, get mirrors behind you, bathroom, wherever you're at, and just stand straight. And if you can see them, take them off. And you're going to put a dart right at the hip. It's going to be a horizontal dart. And I'm just going to drape one side. Okay, and you can see that right there at the hip line, what that does is it picks up that angle and it takes away that wrinkle. Now, I'm always going to suggest that you use this as your pattern, that you use this denim as your pattern. It's totally up to you if you don't want to. What I do is I recommend that you take them off, you stitch this, you put this back on, and then you go to the next step. If you don't want to do that, then I'm going to show you, I've got the pattern pieces drawn out here. Let's take a look at those pattern pieces. All right, look how pretty that falls. You can see big difference from one side to another. Let's pull up those pattern pieces just for a minute if you don't mind. Thanks.
33 pieces?
Yeah, 3,300 pieces. Okay, so there's my the back. The back is what I'm draping now. You could measure how far down that dart is. You could measure how big it is. And then what you're going to do is on your drawing, go do the same. Or your pattern, I'm sorry, your tissue. Measure how far down it is, measure how big it is, and you're going to put the dart right in your tissue. Now the reason I wanted to draw this is I want you to see that the widest part is at the center back. It tapers to nothing all the way to the side seam. If you don't go all the way to the side seam, the pattern won't lay flat. So it's really important you go all the way to the side seam and the center back sews to itself, so we're good to go. Okay? All right, and I would recommend highly, that's most of you, there's probably a few exceptions, that's the first alteration for depth that you should make. We're going to go from the waist down. Okay, then if you still have wrinkles, that actually takes care of this. But if you still have wrinkles, you're going to go to the top of the inseam. So you're just going to kind of reach in, top of the inseam. This one actually still has a few wrinkles. Let me point them out to you. You kind of see it's coming off right here. It's not falling straight. I'll turn that just a little bit like that. See right there? I couldn't see it because I was on the other side. So then you're going to go to the top of the inseam. You're also going to do a dart. And again, it's probably going to be about a ½ inch, maybe a little less, probably not more. And you're going to take this again all the way to the side seam. Now again, if you don't have me to do this for you, or if you don't have somebody else to do this for you, you just have to put it on, take it off, you know, sew it, and put it back on. And you guys, this does not take long. This does not take long. And the muslin, once you get this, you recognize that you can use all of your pants and do the same thing. And I mean, it just looks amazing. Really, it just looks amazing. And with jeans that you buy, they just never gonna, look how pretty that is. I mean, it's just amazing how the difference between the two sides. Just one, this is just so pretty. Okay, so let's go back to our pattern just so that we're sure where to put it. And the first one was right here at the hip line. And then the second one is right there at the top of the inseam. And it also is going to be wider in the center, tapering to nothing at the side seam. Now I've drawn this a little bit bigger than it actually is. You know, it's whatever, again, you can measure your tissue. If you're using your jean as your muslin, you don't have to do this. But if you're not, if you're wanting to just preserve the pattern and use the pattern, yada yada, then you can measure how big. Now, when you've done this one, you always have to come in and do the front. The front will not show any signs that it has to be done, but it will look a lot better after you've done it. Now, this and this are the same size, and it's so that the inseams will match, and you don't want any easing in that inseam, just an FYI. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my little person around, and I'm going to reach to the top of the inseam and take out that same amount. All right. Now I'm going to continue in the back first, and then I'll finish up the front. And I would recommend you drape the back first. And the reason being is simply because this is darting, this is depth, and the back of the body has more depth than the front of the body. So fix the back, get it how you want it, and then this is tweaking, kind of is what I call it. Darting is always kind of tweaking. All right, and then you're going to sew them, put them back on. This is a really good time to sew in your underwear, because then you don't have to keep getting dressed. Wait till you're home by yourself. Okay, it is not doing it on this one, but there are times when right above the knee in the back, the pant will buckle. And the reason why, what's happening when you're doing these darting is the cloth isn't hanging straight anymore. It's actually changing angles, and it's going in when you go in, and it's doing all those beautiful things. So it looks really nice. So oftentimes our calves stick out farther than our rear end. Okay. And so what we're going to do at the calf, right above the calf, is we're going to take one more dart, and we're going to take it from the out seam, and I'll draw it for you. We're going to go from the out seam to the inseam. And if you've never taken this before, you will be absolutely amazed at how incredible what this does. It's really incredible. Like I said, I've done this on many, many women, and they'll say, ah, you know, it's really a great little trick. All right, so there we go. That leg is really close and yet hanging beautifully straight. Okay, so let's draw that so you can see what that one looks like. That one actually now is at the out seam. It's just right above the knee, and its widest point is at the out seam. It tapers to nothing at the inseam. So again, you're going to do it at the same place on the front. The widest point is the out seam, tapers to nothing on the inseam, again, so the pattern can lay flat. Now I purposely left those grain lines in there because neither one of these will affect the grain line. The grain line will still go straight from the top, and the grain line is 4 inches, 4.5 inches. One of those doesn't make that much difference. The top all the way to the center of the hem, and that's the same for the front as it is for the back. So the good news is what this is doing, it's going to change the angle of that pant just a little bit, and that grain line will come down in and make it gorgeous. Okay, so question. Do those darts have to be parallel to the floor? No, they're not parallel to anything. You're draping. Draping, the rule in draping is that the pattern has to lay flat when you're done. So keep in mind the two types of darts that we generally deal with are like a bust dart or a waist dart or skirt dart. They end internally, okay? They end in the middle of the pattern. When darts end in the middle of the pattern, we have to sew them on the sewing machine. But I can have darts all over the garment that end externally. They end on a seam, and when they end on a seam, then the pattern still lays flat, but I get the change that I want. I get it less here, the same here, less here, the same here, less here, the same here. And that's the beauty of using these darts going all different directions. But they're not parallel, you know, don't kind of force yourself into rules. Don't make up stuff, I guess is the best way to say it. Don't make up things like that. If they did have to be, I would say it. Okay? Okay. Should tweaking be done before sewing on pockets? Because it looks like the front pockets are already on yours. When you're actually, good observation. I did put the pockets on because I knew nothing on these needed to be done with the pockets. So I went ahead and put the pockets on almost so that you'd see that it looked like a jean. What I would do is I would lay the pocket over the front when I was cutting out the muslin. I would not even sew the pocket in at all. Don't do a fly, just do the front, do the back, and put, you know, draw in the pocket. Put the pattern piece behind it and draw it as one so that you aren't dealing with the pockets gapping or anything like that. I'm glad you mentioned that because I would have forgotten to say that. Don't do the pockets on a muslin. Keep it simple. You are not draping the pockets. You're simply draping the crotch length, the crotch depth, and circumference. Okay? Did you make the jeans you're wearing? I did. Can you guys see what bottom half is on for me? Yes, I did. The photo for 418 shows a shirt tail hem, but the pattern doesn't have the same hemline. What can I do to alter the pattern to have a shirt tail hem? Just curve it. Just goes up at the side and down at the bottom. We must have made an error on that. I hadn't noticed it. So I appreciate you saying something. Okay. So the next thing I want to do, how did you make, oh, sorry. The hip line dart can be on back only. Yes, the hip line dart can because the center back sews to itself. As long as the seam sews to itself, you're good to go. All right, so then this alteration that you're going to watch for, a lot of women have gapping in the back of their jean. So just like that. So I don't want you to take it in at center back. If you look at center back on a jean, it's already angled. It's already biased to some extent. And anytime anything is biased, bias equals stability. So I don't want to take that seam in more, and plus it won't lay well. So I want to divide it to both sides, and I'm going to put a little dart in the top of the waistband. And that dart's going to go from the top of the waistband to the bottom of the waistband, and I want to do it equally on both sides. It's possible that you'll need 2 of these. So I'm going to do one there, and if it's pulled in enough, or if it's not pulled in enough, do another one. And do another one on both sides. And again, let's go back to the pattern, and I'll show you where I did it. Can I draw again on that photo? Okay, so this is piece number 3, which is why I put it on there. That's the waistband, which is up here, and that dart is going to go from this point down to the bottom. So the pivot point now you can see is on the bottom of that band. Oh, there, I drew it. Can you undo the last 2 for me? 2 more. Okay. Yeah, let's just draw that again just so you can see it. Okay, so the dart is wider at the top, and it tapers to nothing at the bottom right there. And do one first, do them on both sides, make sure they're equal, and then if you need more, go ahead and do that second one. You don't necessarily need to, like I need 1, I don't need 2. But you don't want to take it at center back. Now what that'll do is it'll just cause your band to be a little more curved, and that's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so the back of the pant is finished. Let's turn around to the front and let's look at the front. I did the one here at the inseam, and I did the one at the knee, so the leg is hanging just beautiful. I've got a few little wrinkles here that I don't like, and so I'm going to take a little dart right there at the, it's kind of at the curve of the crotch. And again, this is only done in the front because it's only a problem in the front. Don't assume that I have to do it in the back, or don't make any correlation between these. You're just draping. But the good thing is, it makes a big difference, and it looks much, much better when I do that. And again, you take it out to the side seam, and I'll draw this one for you. And if you have all of these, even if you do, it's no big deal. Let's look, is it up again still? Sorry. Okay, so let's pull it up this last time, and where we are is right here. And it's going to go wider at the center front. Sorry, you guys, let's undo that for me, do you mind? That was really bad. I've actually gotten a little bit better at this, or I think I have until I draw that. All right, so it's going to go wider at the front. You notice you're below the pocket, and it's going to taper to nothing over there. Now, those are straight angled lines. If they're not straight angled lines, keep in mind that the pattern won't lay flat. So they have to be straight angled lines. And so really, the part that's important is this amount right here that we're taking up. Where it's going to and how much it's going, it's just like if you took a little tuck in the pattern and then made it nothing on the other side, the middle part takes care of itself. The reason I pin it or sew it is just so you can really get an idea as to how it looks, or I don't know, you know, all that kind of stuff. You get a better idea as to what it looks like. Okay? Okay. There is one thing that is not happening on here that I want to show you, and I hesitate to show you guys because I just hesitate because it's abused. It's kind of misused, and it's misunderstood. So this does not happen very often. And again, I'm using my pattern, you know, the silhouette pattern is what I'm using as an example. Other patterns out there, I don't know. I don't know the base, so I don't know, you know, how to drape them. And sometimes people will ask me about other patterns, and I just have to say, look, I don't know. I can't help you on that. All right, but I want to pull back those photos for just a little bit. A lady sent me an email just the other day, and it had, I call them parentheses. They're right in the front crotch. Once in a while they're in the back. This lady was from, I don't remember where she was from, but I know it was a long ways away. Anyway, overseas, international. I showed her how to, I made a little drawing, showed her how to fix it, and she made the change, sent me back, and it was amazing. The difference was incredible. So I want you to be careful in using this. The pant fits, it looks really nice, but there's like a little, I call them parentheses. There's little wrinkles. They're kind of like parentheses shaped, and they're right at the base of the crotch in the front, usually in the front, sometimes in the back, but usually in the front. So when you get that, it's because you have, let's go ahead and pull that up again, sorry. It's because you just have, and can you erase some of those last ones, Benjamin, do you mind? We're gonna go without all this here. That's good, that's good, that's good. Okay, so it's right there in the front, and what I'm gonna do is I know y'all are gonna fall off your chairs when I say this, you're gonna scoop the front. You start about right here. It's not even like a ½ inch, quarter inch or so, and you're gonna scoop that. Now that's kind of a crude drawing, but what I want you to see from this drawing is that when you scoop of any kind, the crotch length gets longer. So when that happens, often you have to come back and you have to take a dart right there to shorten it back to what it should be. Okay? So you're correct. It's like a width issue. So you scoop that crotch, because when you scoop, oftentimes it gets longer than it should. And so you take that away by either the dart that's already there or making a dart, one of those two things. Okay? All right. That is all of our pant fitting, because those are the only things I ever see. Okay? Again, I'm using silhouette pattern 3300 is the one I'm using. Okay, let's answer questions because we've kind of gone over the basics. Will the back of the knee affect the hemline since it's changing the angle? No. And that's a good question, you guys, because I get asked that question a lot, but here's the theory. And I'm going to take some of these back. I'm going to take some of these out. Like, let's take this one out just for jollies, and I'll show you something. The problem that is being caused, if these wrinkles went to the hem, they wouldn't be a problem. The problem is the wrinkles don't go to the hem, they just hang out right there. So because they hang out right there, I can completely take them away and it will never affect the hem. If it affected the hem, they wouldn't be a problem. They hang out right there. And so when I fix them right there, the hem is not affected at all. Okay, but it's a good question. I get it asked often, and it's simply, I don't know, it doesn't affect the hem because they don't go to the hem. Okay, are you wearing the bomber jacket? Yes, 927, I think is what it is. And it's a great, the reason I made it is it's a great combination with jeans. Later on, I want to show you some styles for jeans, and it's just a great, it's like a jean jacket, kind of, which I've got one too. If the inseam on one leg swings forward below the knee, how can that be corrected? That's a grain line issue, so you got to make sure they're on grain. Do any of the lines of any of the darts have to be parallel to the floor? No. Okay? All right, so keep it that simple, you guys. Really, truly keep fitting that simple. We've made it for all these years really, really hard. It's not really hard. In fact, it's really, really easy. Just make it easy. But again, you're by yourself, so you'll have to dart it, sew it, put it back on. Dart the next one, so, you know, yada, yada, yada. Okay? Do you have to add at the waistline so it's straight again? No. You guys, if you go through this process and do it, recognize that, again, when I'm pinching this up, it's taking care of the wrinkles. It's not pulling down and it's not pulling up. It's not changing the outer, you know. And you're asking those questions simply because you're probably not really used to draping. So just do it and go through that process, and it's just as easy. If it did all those things, I would tell you all, okay, watch for this, watch for that. It's really that easy, okay? When you took the dart in the front crotch, it looks like the top center got lower. It didn't. It did not. Otherwise, there wouldn't have been wrinkles. It might have gotten lower when I pinched it, but then it went right back. So, no, you would not add to that area. Why does the front dip down at the waist? That's the styling. The styling of the waist is that the front is generally lower than the back. Always. I mean, always. Like nobody has a straight waist. Nobody's waist is parallel to the floor. We keep talking about this parallel stuff. Nobody's is. Generally, my pants are lower in the front, higher in the back because I'm more comfortable that way. The lower they are in the front, the better it looks. The taller I look, etc., etc. But if they're really low in the back, they're really uncomfortable when I sit. So we put the back of the pant higher and the front of the pant lower. That's completely normal and expected. For the dart, after scooping the fixed parentheses, it tapers to nothing at the side seam. No, the dart... Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Yes, that dart. Yes, got it. Sorry, I read the question wrong. Okay, so are we good on that kind of stuff? Let's talk about, and we've done, you guys, other jeans. You can look at YouTube. We've done lots of jeans fitting. I just wanted to see you. I did want to show you this, you guys. I put these up. Are they cute? We're going to see a lot of different ways to style your jeans, and I love these. We've got these on the fabric page. They're really fun. We just got them up like 20 minutes ago, so they're just a really fun little lace and little leather strapping. You can see a better picture online. All right, so I want to start showing you some denim because there's a lot of fun denim out there. I want to show you what's current, and then you can kind of decide. We've taken care of fit. Now we want to move to style. So at first we have some really wild things. Don't think I'm crazy. I'm just wanting to show you what's out there because these cut jeans are really popular. And the good news about making them is you can decide how much cutting you want. Clearly this is a clever little girl here who, or big, whatever, grown woman, whatever you want to call it. And she, I guess you can call these jeans. She left together what's important. All right, so what you see is we see different cutouts and in all kinds of extremes. So let's go to the next one. We're just going to run through these. This one I included on an email just so you could see that I think all I was trying to get across here so is that it's fun to see one side and not done exactly the same on both sides. I think that's why I kind of thought it was kind of cute. So you may not be able to see these close up, but what this is the white part is shredded, and it's shredded in a pattern that creates exactly what you're seeing. So pretty clever, I thought this was. And then we showed this is the front, and then there's a back view as well. So both of those, in both cases, what they are is that the blue that you see is just where the denim isn't shredded, and then it's shredded in triangles like that, both in the back, the front, and then along the side. I thought it was pretty cool looking, very different. All right, then we have, so they're putting big chunks out, they're putting things underneath them. Not that you guys, I'm not even suggesting this, I just want you to see what's out there. These are all 2018 photos, and they're all real. I mean, I didn't make any of this up. All right, so the next one, you know, the thing I like about making jeans is I can make them exactly what I want. I can do a little peekaboo up the side, but not have it be quite as extreme as what this one is. There's some more cutting that I just wanted you to see. So the next thing that's really popular with denim is the embroidery. And I wanted to show you, I've got these jeans over here of this embroidery down the side. Embroidery is huge right now. You can see there, that bottom of that pant, because I saw that pant, that's about a 24-inch bottom. So that's quite extreme. But most of the embroidery that's being done is actually on a wider leg. Now I say most, not all. We're going to show you again different. There's a lot of embroidery out there, and it's pretty creative. But I know a lot of us have embroidery machines. It's really fun to do this. You notice that I wanted to show you this one because there's more on the outside, there's less on the inside. So the outside seam is seamed first, the embroidery is done, and then the inseam is done. Now usually when you do jeans, one of the details that's important with jeans is that the inseam is a flat fell. And you usually do the inseam first because it's a flat fell, and you can't do a flat fell on the inseam and on the outseam. So you normally, if you're making a pair of jeans, you sew the inseam, flat fell, and then you sew the outseam, and it's just a regular seam. So in this particular case, you have to sew the outseam in order to do the embroidery. So the inseam cannot be a flat fell. Okay, just FYI. All right, then we're going to see, I want you to see these embroidery, because some of these are really good and some of these are just really bad, and I know you could do better. So that's kind of why I wanted to show you. But I wanted you to see some of the pricing. So on some of this, what I did is I I saw them in the store, and then I came back to my computer. I found them online because I wanted you to see this pricing. I want you to see in this case where the lace on the front, I want you to look at the length of the jean. That mid calf is very popular right now. And these are narrow, and these are probably about a 10-inch, but there's some that are about a 16-inch, and we'll see those. And I can't see who this is.
7 for All Mankind.
Oh, 7 for All Mankind. Okay, so 7 for All Mankind has been around a long time. They've done a lot of clever looks. And how much are they?
$279.
Okay, so just a little under $300. So you can see that, gosh, hopefully I'm giving you good reason to make your jeans, because $300 for a pair of jeans, I think that's just crazy. I really do. But they're going to get more expensive. So I've left these prices, like I said, in there. It depends on who they are, how much they charge. So like I said, we can do better. All right, these are Chanel. I can't, but all I wanted you to see is they've got trim going down the side. But see, again, they're stopping short. They're not going all the way down. That's personally not a style I'm going to do. How much are these?
It's 2.4.
Oh, 2,400. Okay, 2,400. So, like I said, how much would you pay for a pair of jeans? And they're just simple ideas. So that's where, this is where people say you don't save money sewing. Well, I don't agree. You certainly can. So this, I wanted you to notice, this is actually embroidery. And this particular designer, this is Alexander Wang. And if you don't know him, it takes you a little while to realize that's his name going up one side, but the bottom is cut off, and then going down the other side, the top is cut off. So if she stuck her legs together, you would see the whole name, Alexander Wang, which I think is just ridiculous. It's hard for me to believe anybody would pay money for this. But like I said, it's current. And notice again how short they are and how high they are. What's the price on that? I'm sorry, I can't see the prices.
$325.
$325. What a bargain. Okay, the next one. Lots of embroidery. Just lots of embroidery. And these are all large name designers. These are all fairly high priced. And I just wanted you to get an idea as to, these are not your $19.99 jean. That's the back. And it's fun to kind of do something on the back that transverses, or that comes from the front. And so that's kind of why I wanted to show you. Those two go along. All right. And then this is Roberto Cavalli. It's not on there, but I remember. This is Roberto Cavalli. And I like that. That probably one of my favorite looks is black top, denim bottom. I just think that look is so classic. And same with white top, denim bottom, and then red gets thrown in there somewhere in the mix. I just think it's a great combination, and it's very classic. So to have this black embroidery, I just really liked it. Same as my white kind of over here, my white embroidery. One is down the front, one's down the side. You get to choose, but etc., etc. Roberto Cavalli, and they were expensive. These are, I can't remember who they are. Sorry.
Miller?
Who? No, I don't remember, but I wanted you to see them because they were very pricey, and like, honestly, I'm very sure that the designer's not listening, which is good, because I would say it looks like a 5-year-old. I mean, you could go into your stash, pick some colors, put them behind, cut out the, etc., etc. You get it. They're loose, they're baggy. If you can't fit, you don't have to worry about it, because they don't. This is a little bit of lace on here. And again, I'm not really trying to be partial to one or another. I'm just trying to show you what's out there. Okay, next. I didn't print these pictures out. I don't remember some of the names. Oh, this is Escada. Very pricey. You guys know Escada is very high price point. The front is, again, very almost childish, if you want to say that. I wanted you to see the back of these because I kind of like this. In fact, I would have liked this just with nothing on the front. It actually says Escada, ESC is on one leg, ADA is on the other leg. So Escada is 6 letters. They put 3 on one leg just on the back and 3 on the other leg just on the back. So if you walking away, everyone sees that you have Escada jeans on. And again, pricey, very pricey. So you want to make sure everybody knows that you spent all this money on jeans. All right, so again, some of these, because I found them, I put the prices on here. I can't see who this is. Sorry. Oh, Aeoli. Yes, okay. Aeoli. I think it is. How much are these? 800. So this is a French designer. We have a lot of stores here in Dallas, and a lot of them are like together. So it's real easy to kind of go around from Escada to Chanel to, you know, Alison Olivier is in there. You know, there's a lot in there. And so it's fun to see them. Now she designed for years for, I'm not going to say it because I can't remember. But anyway, and then they've broken off on their own. And so they're out of France. I don't think it's Paris, but anyway. And yeah, they're not inexpensive for their jeans. All right, so this is the one I want you to notice. This is really one of the most popular looks there. It's about 16 inches, and it stops at the top of the ankle, below the mid-calf. It's kind of halfway between, and then worn with a little pair of short boots. That is probably one of the strongest trends for 2018 for the fall, just so you're aware. It isn't a flattering look. You can see that this skinny little body actually looks heavier than the skinny little body is, but I still, you know, if you feel like you want to be stylish, that's the way to do it. This is the extreme. This is not, you know, the wider leg. Generally, if they're a wider leg, they're embroidered. So this is a wide leg. It's got a zipper up the side. I just wanted you to see that as well. This was fun. It was really fun. This is, who's this designer? Isa Afton. This is they're inspired by, how much are they? 385, just a little under 400. They're very vintage looks. You can see from the top, they're very vintage. And I showed the back of this because this turned up hem has been popular for a little while. Notice that plaid pocket. It actually matches the top that she had on the first one. This is a different view, so it doesn't have it here. But all kind of matching going on, which is surprising to me. Usually designers are not that matchy. But anyway, okay. So here are some hem treatments I wanted you to see. It's just the selvage being used to create a horizontal line. Again, just to kind of put a mark and to make jeans a little different. This is what's being done. There's some wild ones coming up. There you go. And notice again that shorter length. And again, to bring that little attention, notice it's black. At least if you're going to do it in black. Don't do it in white. It might look a little silly. All right. So this I really liked. I thought I want to show you now some styles that I thought were kind of cute. Just if you want to do something different. There's actually like just a little sash around the knee. And it goes through, I've showed you this back picture. There's a belt loop on the back. I thought it really kind of resembled jean. I thought it was kind of cute. If you're just looking for something different, again, notice the length. Notice that the leg is supposed to show. There's supposed to be a break in the length of the jean and the top of the booty. So you buy your booties first, you put them on, then you have your jeans. All right? What's that? Oh, they were $675. Yeah, that designer is, you know, I mean, this is stuff you guys can do. That's why I'm really showing it to you. Black jeans. Actually, dark denim is actually more stylish than anything for fall. The problem with dark denim is when they show it in a photo, they usually give a light denim look. That a lot of the ones I saw were actually dark denim, but when I looked them up, they were lighter denim. But I think it's simply because it's what showed better. So notice this little tie. This is what got me inspired to find this little lace thing that I showed you a little earlier. They have little ties at the bottom. I thought that was kind of cute. Although I will say that I was thinking in practicality, that would probably drive me crazy to have those little ties always hitting my ankles. But hey, this is another one. So you notice that they're quite popular. This is Veronica Beard. I know I've mentioned that name to you before. Two sisters, one married into the family. I think they both married into the family. They're sister-in-laws, actually. But anyway, they got together and did this. And I want you to notice all these strings that are always hanging. Women are always saying to me, well, I need to hem them. You know, we get a little, this will hopefully get you out of your box and get you to relax a little bit when it comes to jeans and all the options that we have when we wear them. Okay. All right, so that's the end of those pictures. So now I want to talk about what we wear with our jeans and just make some suggestions to you. So the bomber jacket is what I have on. Plaid is big for fall. So I wanted to do a jacket that you guys could see that you didn't have to do the whole thing plaid. It left no matching at all. The only matching we had to do was across the front, and then I did the panel in the back. And so you cut that at the same time, and it's just really easy to do. So you can do plaid, you can be current for fall. Bomber jackets are terrific. I also wanted you to see the jean jacket. The jean jacket in leather is, again, really stylish for fall. And we've got red leather, brown leather, etc., etc. All right, so then this next one, I wanted to show you, I never have enough room for all this stuff. But anyway, this outfit right here, I actually had to go to Chicago over the weekend on business, and I wore it. And you know how when you wear something, you just really like it more after you wear it? I just really like it. So underneath, and we put this as a pack, a 3-pack. We did the bomber jacket, we did 127, and I'll tell you why here in a minute. And then we did 216, and this is 216. And I did this out of, I left my paper with all those fabric numbers. Anyway, it's a black viscose rayon. It's beautiful. There's a purple and there's a black, and they're not next to each other. They're a few pages apart, but this is amazing. It's got a little bit of shimmer to it. It's absolutely beautiful. We'll have the fabric numbers up after the webcast, and we'll have it on there. And so it's got the asymmetrical opening at the bottom, which I just love this. I mean, I just really like this top. And again, I wore it with jeans when I went to Chicago, and then this is the new cape, the 98. So that's just a great look. I felt comfortable. I even had compliments from people in the airport that I didn't even know. That's a good sign generally, I think. All right, and then I wanted to show you this blouse and how to do it and kind of where it started from. All right, so I'm going to take those jeans off because that's the goal. That's what I'm going to do as an outfit. All right, let's ask some questions before I start. At what point would I make a swayback adjustment? You'll never have a swayback adjustment in a pair of pants. Swayback happens in a bodice and it's above the waist. So jeans don't go to the waist, so that I usually have to lower the center back waist a 1/2 inch. That's pattern versus body. That wouldn't be swayback. Okay, that's just where you prefer. Whenever you put the waist, wherever you put the waist is totally style. It's your call. You know, it's just there's no. Don't term that as fitting. That's styling. Okay. Is Lana's jean 3300 the base for other silhouette patterns such as the cargo pant? It is. It is. It's the same. Same crotch, same hip, same waist. All of that. Love your bomber jacket. What size zipper? Thank you. Where does the top stop? So this is the 18-inch zippers that we have online. We have black with silver, black with gold, white with silver, white with gold. And I'm pretty sure they're 18-inch. So it just goes right into I'll zip it up all the way and you can see. It just goes, it stops about maybe a 1/2 inch below the collar. It's perfect length. I mean, I didn't have to shorten it. Length, I mean, it was just perfect. It worked out perfect. Okay? Okay. What fabric is the new cape jacket? It can be knit or woven. It can be either one. And then, what was the other question on there? What is the detail on the front plaid? What is that detail on the front plaid going to the side of your bomber jacket? Oh, that's a pocket. Those are pockets. Yeah, the bomber jacket has pockets in it. So those are just pockets. And I put the pocket on a bias on the plaid. There you go. Yeah, that's just a pocket. Just a welt. Okay? What fabric did you use for the sleeves of your bomber jacket? That's a really good question. I just don't have my paper. I'm sorry, you guys. 17 something. It's got texture to it. but I can't remember what the name of it is. It's perfect because instead of like ribbing, you know how ribbing has texture to it? I used this, it's a black textured knit. And I just really, really like it. It's just a really nice, fresh substitute for ribbing. It almost feels like a contemporary version of ribbing. That's why I really like it. But like I said, I'll put all the numbers on afterwards. If you always click on watch our reviews and watch that review, we have a page and it lists all the fabrics and all the patterns and all the stuff we used, you know, for that I used for making it. Okay. My pant is always longer in front than the back. Your pant is always longer in the front than in the back. Why? I mean, there could be a myriad of reasons, but it could be the pattern. So are you talking the hem? Or are you talking the waist? I'm not sure what that question is asking. A bomber jacket, if 2.5 inches is too long, sleeve length, out at bottom, above elbow, or at bottom. Just cut it between the elbow and the bottom. Just take it out there, between the elbow and the hem. Okay? Okay. All right, so I want to show you this top. Let me tell you the kind of the progress. This is 127. It ended up being 127, but I think it's kind of funny as to how we got there. So I was sent a picture of a blouse, and I was just really excited. It was a Giorgio Armani, and not Armani, Giorgio Armani, you know, the big ones, the high expensive ones. The blouse was $2,000. But I mean, this blouse was absolutely beautiful. And if you Googled, you know, I forgot I had the photo. I'm sorry, you guys, I had the photo. But if you Google Armani silk bias blouse, it'll possibly come up. Okay, so this is what the blouse really looked like. So I went through and I made the blouse. Well, I actually bought the blouse. It was on sale for only $800. And I knew if I bought it, I could get all the details and then I could return it, which is what I did. So I bought it, I got all the details, and what I realized when I was making the top and making the front, we already had the pattern. Somehow, it wasn't exactly alike, it was a little different, but it was so close, it did not warrant a brand new pattern. So I thought I will just take you through the process of how I did it. And then if you want to do it, you can, and if you don't want to, you don't have to. I'm going to answer these questions. New K pattern 98, I don't see it in the list. You have to, it's not in the list yet. You have to click on the front page of the new fall patterns and then it'll take you to it. For sleeve of bombers, 2.5 inches too long to take out above and below. No, 2.5 is not that much. Just take it out below. It won't make that much difference. The sleeve is too big. You know, it's too loose to make that much difference, to be quite honest. Okay? Okay, so the first thing that I did is this 127 is Aikila's top. And it is, it's a knit. So the first thing I did is I went the size that I needed to where it went over around my bust. And then I made a kimono sleeve. And I've shown you how to do that. So I just laid the sleeve on there and I made a kimono for the front and for the back. This tie actually is hooked into the seam over here and it's fastened with a button toward the back. It has an invisible zipper that goes down the back. I made it loose enough at the top area and I cut the neckline just like the pattern 127. But if you notice the original, it's a higher neckline. Now this is not the original. This is the original that I drafted looking at the blouse. Okay, it's got a few cuts in here. I didn't do that because actually once I made it, I didn't like it on. I didn't even like their blouse on. I didn't like, it's $2,000 blouse we're talking about. I didn't like how it was sewn. I mean, I was really disappointed. I loved it, don't get me wrong. I loved the idea. So I just took the ideas and applied it to this. So this is so easy, and I promise it's like the same effect, except I think it's better because I had the ability to do some really fun things to it. So I cut it longer, which I liked, which it looks great with jeans. I made the kimono. So you do, this piece is already done, but what I did with this piece is I put it on the bias because the original was on the bias and has a beautiful hang to it on the bias. It just kind of gives a really pretty sweep. Also what I did is on this side, I left there to be a little vent. Because it's asymmetric and it falls to this side, I had seen another blouse that had one vent on one side open and not on the other, and I just fell in love with it, so I put it on this blouse. So again, the belt anchors into the side seam and then comes around to the back and is buttoned in the back. And then this kind of just falls into play. And I just absolutely love it. I mean, it's simple, and yet it's just beautiful. Like I said, I didn't really need this invisible zipper, but I so liked the way it looked. I'm not sure why I liked the way an invisible zipper looked, but I really did, and I will absolutely wear this blouse like to death. I can tell you. I made this out of, I think the fabric is 1989. It's a really beautiful viscose rayon woven. It's very pretty. I mean, it just, the whole thing. The belt, I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. And it's not a $2,000 blouse. I think it cost me $40 or $50, whatever the number is. But I think I like it even better. When I got that blouse, I'm telling you, I was so disappointed. It was silk. I mean, you know, I couldn't believe. And I'm going to tell you something. There was 2 colors available when I first looked at it. And the first color that I went to, it was this color. It was sold out. So I bought this goldish color just so that I would have the blouse to look at, but I didn't even like the color. I just bought it, but everything in this color was sold out, before it went on sale. Anyway, enough of my pricing, but I hope you like it. I love it, and I think it's great with jeans, so I wanted you to give a little combo of all the things you could wear and pair with jeans. Okay, we are completely finished with everything. Hopefully there's lots of fun ideas. Jeans are great. Why you will make them is because they are everywhere for fall, and you can make them yours. I think it's one of the best things to make, to sew, because you can really put all the details into them that you want to. What is the solid black fabric in the bomber jacket you're wearing? It's 17. If you look up, I don't know. We'll have it up. Sorry. Difference of width of sleeve. Difference of width of sleeve. After 2+ inches it's out, do I just draw new lines and keep the bottom of the sleeve the original width? Yes. Perfect. Smart girl. Okay. Are we good? Yay! That was fun. That was so much fun. I had so much fun doing all this stuff, you guys. And I got to clean my sewing room. It's been amazing. So we have that little 3-pack of patterns. I think is a great combination of toppers for jeans. Our pattern of the month is Lana's jeans. Those great things that go down the side, I think, are absolutely adorable. And I actually saw it down the side of a blouse the other day. Like I said, I was in business in Chicago over the weekend, and I saw the side panel, and it was done with something like that as opposed to doing it on pants. So you could put it on sleeves. You could put them all over the place. They're just cute. What pattern paper do you like? Pattern paper, I'm not sure why I'm so tongue twisted on that, because I use a pattern paper from my grader. So it's not a paper you guys can get, and it doesn't really matter. I use it because they used to digitize on it, and so that's what all my paper is. Okay. The back dart at the hip may create a wedgie in the crotch, shortening crotch length a bit. How would I correct that? Good question. So if it's short, keep in mind that there's, let me just show you this, and hopefully you'll take a quick peek at this. Let me grab my tape measure. It's in this drawer because I cleaned my sewing room and I know where it is. Yay. Okay, so this is the French curve. I don't know if you can see that very well. Here, I'll use this one. All right, so here is the waist and here is the crotch. Okay, forget the rest of this. Here is the waist and here is the crotch. All right, so the tape measure is the crotch length. It's what goes around our rear end, and it is what we is too long. When it's too long and the rear end doesn't take it up, then that is what, I need one more hand. That's that's what sags below the rear end. So that's why you put a dart at the hip line and it pulls it up. But if you notice, and I'm out of hands, but let's just say for a minute, I'm going to put this here. This is here. I can actually change the length. I'm going to do this. Here, I'll stick that in there. Okay, I can change the length of the tape measure and it doesn't affect the up and down. So if you are taking up the tape measure because you're trying to lift things that are hanging below the rear end, then, and if you can't, then the crotch depth of the pant is too short. So the whole pant should come down and then you should fix the tape measure. What you want is individual control. Tape measure is crotch length. The curvette is crotch depth. And then of course it goes to the side seam. That's your circumference. Okay? Oh, the jean video, by the way, I forgot. The jean video is on sale. It's got, you know, just jeans. It's got all the details. It's got all the details on sewing jeans, making them, doing them, all the fun things so that you can make them the way you want. All right. So I think, are we good? Any other questions or did we get through them all? All right. So you know what it's time for? It's time for us to say happy sewing from Silhouette Patterns. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. We've got lots of great ideas for you for fall sewing. I just know you'll love this stuff. I'm really having a lot of fun. So thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. You guys saw we hit 40,000. We're going past 40,000. We're sailing on to 100,000. So we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks so much. Bye.